What? Good. I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Tracey White.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Welcome, friends. Welcome.
What's this button do?
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus. Cheers! Turn away the camera for a second, guys. Alright, there you go. Missed that last time. It took me a lot longer. Come on now.
Yeah, to go from camera to camera to camera to camera to camera, just to try to get the right.
To camera.
You're gonna love that part.
Oh, okay.
Because he was going camera to camera to camera.
Oh, is that what was happening?
Camera
All right.
camera two.
Maybe it'll be animated. I don't know.
Maybe.
Welcome to the podcast, and to my right, welcome, friend. How are you? Jake Schriner, using his multi-tool.
Yes.
What is that?
My multi-tool. That's my multi-tool, Johnny.
Thank you.
That was off camera, right? No.
Just off the chair.
I'm doing good, thank you. Glad I'm here. Yesterday was Big Sunday. I think that went pretty well. It was fun. Weekend was cool. Just hung out. It was really relaxed. Went to Dollar Tree and spent like $70 at Dollar Tree on Saturday night. Between like the stuff that Colette wanted for like Easter things around the house, just little things, this and that, and then Harper got a few things, and then I discovered that the Dollar Tree sells gardening stuff.
Yep.
For 4 seed packets for $1, they have trowels, they have gloves, they have seed starting soil, like a quart bag of like seed starting soil.
That's where the other $65 went.
Just loading up like 3 carts worth, like their little mini carts, you know. No, so that was that was a lot of fun. And then, in case you guys haven't heard, we have the community garden.
We got
the plot. Yes. So
The plot.
yeah, hopefully throughout the summer. Hopefully it does. Yeah, absolutely. So we want to get together a list of what everybody wants to grow, so we make sure we're not missing anything, and then we'll kind of figure out who wants to be a part of it, and then go from there. Establish some good days we can all meet out there and get some work done.
What have we heard so far? About what people want to plant.
So what we've heard so far, we got tomatoes, we got butternut squash, we got maybe corn. What were the other things? Cucumbers, broccoli.
I'm pretty sure onions got to be in there.
I got plenty of onions already started, so we'll do some onions for sure.
Green
Peppers,
onions?
I got lots of carrots. We have room for everything. So zucchini, I would definitely want to have zucchini on there. But yeah, whatever people want to grow.
Bok choy.
Bok choy. Do it up, Bob. Bob Choi. We'll get some.
Wait. Bok choy.
Bob Joy's got the bok choy. We're gonna do it.
Bok choy by Bob Choy.
So, we'll get out there over the next week or two and sort of get everything organized and go forward. So
Awesome. Man.
So that's been making me real excited the last like 2 weeks.
And it's been really fun watching it kind of grow in people's minds.
Yeah.
Grow. Unintentional fun.
Seeds planted.
Yeah, but the seeds have been planted for sure. It's going to get worse and worse. All right, well, anyway, Jake, thanks for doing all that. I'm so glad you're here, man.
That's a good idea. We put Bible verses up in there about growing and planting seeds.
I was thinking about that because there's so many agricultural parables that Jesus says.
For sure.
You know, every time we go out there as a group, like just do a quick devotional.
Yep.
You know,
That's a great idea.
Gotta be easy. So.
Bob Nelson,
Yes.
welcome. How are you, sir?
I am about the same as last week, you know. It was a fairly easy day. I took my father-in-law to an eye appointment to kind of get him set up for cataract surgery. So,
Oh, wow.
You know, he turns 87 in June, so that he's not getting cataract surgeries out until, you know, this time it's not so bad.
That
so.
he's even able to have them.
Yep.
Have it done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
cool.
it should go pretty well. He actually has macular degeneration, but it's been stable. So like it started and then it stopped. So you know, so which is a good thing because he really needs to be able to take care of his wife. So that's a long story. But yeah, so that went well, and then I went for a run yesterday. Did just a little over a 5K, and that was all good.
Good.
Yeah,
Nice.
So
Back at it.
today, yep, back into it. Yep.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was and then last week was a pretty decent week, and yeah, so trucking along.
Trucking along. All right, man. Glad you're here as always. Good to see you.
Likewise.
To your right, Tracey White. How are you, sir?
Good.
And here I am. Oh, yeah. The one-word answers.
Work is still, that same project is still going on.
Yeah.
The same stressors that are in on, involved, that it involves that project. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's work in a nutshell. But the good thing is going on a trip this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's look, going to see my daughter and to bring her back to Denver is a wonderful thing. Her and
Yeah.
her roommate are coming back to Denver. And, but I am not looking forward to driving 21 hours over 2 days with these
Yeah.
two girls. It has nothing to do with them. The company is going to be great.
Right.
The trip
It's a long
itself,
drive,
man.
Are you driving straight? You're going to be stopping.
No,
right?
we'll stop overnight somewhere, probably Amarillo-ish, somewhere in there, and then finish up on Thursday. So we'll be back. We'll be in Thursday night at some point,
Yeah.
and back to work on Friday, and then straight into drill weekend. So, and then another week of work, and, and then it's Easter, which is no.
No,
No,
you got a weekend
no,
off,
no.
then it's Easter.
You'll be back in
Weekend off.
time to do Lord's Supper with us. It'll be great.
Awesome. Yep, that'll be great. So, Johnny.
I'm not sure if this is happening or I'm still asleep. Are you guys real? That's how I felt all day long.
All right.
I went through my whole thermos of coffee before noon and still was dragging.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what's going on. It's been a weird
have a puppy?
week. I don't have a puppy.
Ugh.
No. Just for some reason, I'm just really dragging. I mean, every Monday, you have a little bit of that, but I mean, this is not that. I need some sleep, I think is what's going on. I'm not getting enough sleep because I have to get up really early. But anyhow, so yeah, that's kind of how my day has gone through. I mean, it's like that terrible time when you're driving late and you're on the highway like you're going to be. And I know hopefully this doesn't happen to everybody else, but sometimes I'm driving along and everything's quiet. And then I kind of look around and I've gone many miles and I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, oh, certainly.
That was the day. So that was good. At least the day kind of went by pretty well. But in other healthy news, and maybe this is why, I don't know. But yeah, I'm at 19 and a half pounds I've lost.
Nice.
Good for you.
Congratulations.
No,
My belly's not
looking
touching the
great.
table now, and it was a percent.
Your face is getting thinner. That's good.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe time now to double check my blood pressure medicine.
Yeah.
Check my blood pressure. Maybe that's what's going on. But anyway, yep, just tired, man. That's all. Just kind of weird. It seemed like it was something else I was going to say, funny or whatever about today, but maybe it'll come back.
You
later.
said a lot of funny things, but it was before we
It was
actually
all before we
recorded. But we probably should have
That's
repeated some of
all
that stuff. Because, I mean, not that it's bad, it's just,
It'll be dated so fast. We don't want
I
to talk
know,
about current
yeah.
issues.
it's so yesterday's news.
Last night specifically.
Oh, my soul. Well, anywho. But yeah, so I'm just tired, and that's pretty much, it's sort of the dull. Hey, wait a minute. What podcast number is this? This is 94, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
We're
On
coming
our
up
way to
on it.
100.
Well, we'll get there.
It's going to be awesome.
What are we gonna do?
We have some ideas rolling around. You have some-
I mean, we talked about getting like everybody out here.
Yeah, like a
just,
whole church thing.
yeah.
Get everybody, set it up around, have some food, have a night, hang out,
See
and
how
do the
everybody's
podcast.
doing. Yeah, just have a good time.
I think that'd be kind of hilarious, yeah. Almost like a studio audience
It would be.
that interacts with us.
Yeah. No, I think we should just get a big circle,
Yeah, yeah.
old
Yeah,
school
just
devotional
bunch-
circle.
Yeah,
you
that
know.
would be cool too. Just have
Yeah.
tons of chairs all over the circle,
And-
like
and
we're
yeah.
all at the table.
Yeah.
We'll just be.
Everybody, say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I love it. would be very fun.
Yeah.
Something though, something like
Yeah.
that. Big cake. 100th
I'm in.
on fire.
You had me at cake. You had me at big old cake.
Big old kid. That was a hilarious.
Don't know if you watched last
week.
week's or not. But
Yeah, last week.
Heard it was very funny.
It was very funny.
It was a big old fun time.
I've only used it once since
Okay.
then.
Oh, only one big old.
Since then?
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting you there.
So anyway, I'll try to keep up the energy here tonight, but I'm just really, who knows?
Understood. Well, I mentioned puppy because, we've got the puppy and puppy has been progressively waking up earlier and earlier. It was like a little after 4 this morning when we got woke up by the puppy. I told Kathy, I said, hey, if this keeps up, eventually he'll just want to bark right before we go to bed and then be good the rest of the night.
There you go.
There you go.
Or the cycle starts over again. Oh.
Well, you could take him for a run every
Right.
night right before you go to bed.
Just wear them out.
Just wear out the puppy and you go right to sleep.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, all right.
Sasha's gotten in this habit of she kind of starts sleeping out on the couch, but then eventually comes in and sleeps on the bed. And when she gets in, she's like, hi, I'm here. Hi, I'm here. Hi, 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 I am here. But usually when she does that, she's a good dog. If there's an emergency, she's like, you need to get me outside. And that's how she does it.
Yeah.
No, she's just waiting for me to get out of bed so she can jump in the bed. And then I can't go back to
Sneaky
sleep.
puppy dog.
That was weird. Johnny, you're gonna have to stitch the 2 videos together, or if it shuts off again on its own, more than 2 videos will need to be stitched together. But caught it right. I mean, it's right
Yeah,
there.
keep your eyeball on it. You're doing a good job there. Speaking of things, all things video-ish, although we had 3 of those on Sunday. Start, stop,
3?
stop.
There were 3 times.
Yeah, it was the 3rd one that finally kept us going.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah, because this first time we didn't realize that the thing was unplugged. Second time, still couldn't figure out that it was unplugged. Third time, you got it figured out that it was unplugged.
I will say that the first video was actually our countdown, and it was on Facebook. And
Yeah, because that's
the
on
next
the
one
computer.
was the blank one.
Well, anything that was coming over the cameras through here didn't show because
That's what
Yeah,
it was.
wasn't plugged into the
OBS was
computer.
going straight to it, but the cameras weren't going to OBS.
Yeah, I
so,
got
to over. That was the issue.
But then it was fine.
Mhm.
It was fine through
Yeah.
from there to the end. So
I think the audio needed a little more bass guitar, but for the most part, I thought it sounded pretty good.
When I was out, listening outside, it was sounded really good.
Yeah.
So
Over the web of the enters,
yeah, so
the web of the worldwide.
the wide
Strange
world of
way of saying
The
that.
wide world.
Oh boy. We hope you're still here with us as we are talking. Anyway, what I was going to say about the video thing, speaking of, I gotta stop hitting the table, is that we were not flagged in any way on Sunday. We just did it to ourselves. We shot ourselves in.
yeah, we were doing wishes, and I'm like, I wish the tech would work.
Yeah, it was like would work. Oh well. So at least, but that all that means is at least that was successful for now. Anyhow, we're using original stuff completely.
There was
Yeah.
I made the comment that a lot of things when you're setting up and then tearing down every time we do a service, there's so many
Little wear and tear.
little connections that can just not get plugged in all the way, or
yeah.
something
Or
that
just
can happen.
something gets moved a little bit, gets knocked loose.
It may be
Yeah.
tedious, but we probably need to just have a long checklist that you just review real quick. you
We
know?
do. We used to actually do a test stream on Saturday after
That's
setting up.
true. We can
And
still
what-
do that.
Well, what we didn't do is I don't recall turning everything on and testing the stream feed to the computer at least. We don't have to go live, but
Facebook now has a way to just do a test stream, so without
should have done it.
It is a promo kind of a deal.
Oh,
We'll
so
go live on
could do that too.
Saturday, so maybe
It's
just
good.
be something hilarious each time.
Okay.
Something different. All right. Well, cool. Yep.
Big Saturday before Big Sunday.
Big Saturday before Big Sunday.
Sneak peek.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, all right. Well, let's talk about the weekend. Talk about Saturday. Sunday. I mean.
What day are we on?
Yeah. Where am I? Who are you guys again? Okay. So. What's going on here? Why are there lights?
Well, I just realized where your confusion's coming from.
Yeah.
Because you only had one verse.
That must be really confused with one verse.
That's right. At this pace, we'll make it through Mark in
Yeah.
the year
We're gonna do one verse every
2048,
Sunday.
you know?
By the time Harper's back from college,
Right.
One
get to
verse
the
a
very
month
end of
till we
Mark.
finish up the gospel. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my soul.
One verse.
Hopefully not. But even before we got to the verse, it was great to see everybody there that was able to be there Sunday.
Yes.
I know we had some people either with sick babies or that kind of thing, but yeah, a lot of joy in the room, a lot of smiling and laughing.
There wasn't joy in it.
Except for there was no
Except
joy.
so there was no joy in the room.
We missed
Strange. Joy was not there,
That's
but
okay.
we filled in the joyfulness.
Yes, yes.
What was about this? Oh yeah. Before the singing and all that, everything went great. You guys all sounded great. We were just talking about that. But then afterwards, to come back circle to the community garden thing, we had a short little info conversation, and it was great to see how many people were really interested in that.
Yeah.
And hanging out and talking, had questions. And
Yep.
how do I get this? And we also, that brought us to mind of needing some new shirts. So that's another thing we'll get on here hopefully soon.
Yeah. Could we put like a verse on it?
Yeah, we can put a verse.
Could.
I don't know how much, like, are we printing them or having them made, or what's? We're
Well,
just gonna make more of the regular.
so Kathy's got the
That's
screen
right.
press, and we have a screen made,
Oh, okay.
but it's the ones that we normally wear,
Yeah.
right? So if we want to do something different, we would have to create a new, burn a new screen.
For sure.
I don't know if she's got any screens that aren't clean, that are clean. I think they all have something on them right
Right.
now. So there's a process involved in that. I don't know if our emulsion is still good. There's other considerations to making a new screen.
For sure.
We can give it a go if we need to.
We should
Yeah,
do
or we
different
can make
colors
it
with
made.
we can do different colors with the same print we have now. That might even like.
We could. We have 4. Again, if you do that, you have to really clean out the one screen to do
Well,
I think you
colors.
mean shirts.
I mean the shirts, yeah, the
Oh,
shirt
different
color.
color shirts.
Yeah, different color
Yeah,
shirts,
absolutely.
and then you still just do the white.
But we could do multicolor because it's a 4-color press. So, yeah. We could do full color bleed, but that'd be a lot to do. But
we can always go a different route, if you guys don't feel.
well, no, I mean, I was thinking about doing something with a verse, more stronger, closer. I think would be nice to have on there.
There are also some hilarious lines. Melissa and I have talked about this a couple of times, that it'd be funny to have inside joke shirts too.
Yeah.
Not too inside where they don't make any sense, but it's like when...
Steven!
Yes, Steven! Although, something that just off the wall kind of thing on a shirt might get more attention
Yeah.
from people.
Yeah.
They say, wait, your church, why does your church say Steve?
Who's
That's
Steven?
hilarious.
He's our
Put just
hero.
like an empty ad box on it, and then said if you want to sponsor this, please, no Bob.
This shirt is sponsored by. Not a sponsor of the podcast.
This could be you. Like arrows pointing to the.
I mean, there are some
Rent me.
rent this space. There are some very discount shirt companies out there, so not really high quality or anything, but for fun, we could do like a whole bunch of those, like short run.
Good.
But it was it's not WJJ, I mean,
WWJD.
Oh, yeah.
WWJD, but there's no way I'm going to remember the other ones. But it was the whole,
It was
what is Jesus like and am I like that? Whatever that acrostic was, just letters all the way through. Anyway,
Yeah, I could see people going, what does that mean?
Well, let me tell you.
What was Jesus like? How can I be like that?
Hold on, I gotta get this cheat sheet.
It could be small next to the big letters, actually small.
Yeah.
There we go.
That would be cool. But, I mean, we're
Anyway.
prepared right now to do another run. Just need to get shirts if we need some in the short term. But I really
there
do think it'd
could
be
be-
neat to do a collaborative session and think about the design and what else we could put on it.
There can be our general shirts, and then there could be things for just related to like the garden kind of deal, or something special that we're
Glow
doing.
and go.
Right.
Glow and
Movie
go.
night.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, sure. And how fun would that be? We'd have to really. We're just brainstorming here. Thanks for joining us. It's behind the scenes. It would be kind of
sausage is made.
how that'd be a terrible T-shirt, Bob.
Very true. This church comes see how the sausage is made.
Nobody would show
Driving people away. You're like, I'm sorry, what do you guys do?
I had just taken a big shot.
Inside joke.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Let's make it happen.
The inside joke.
Inside joke. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
But what I was going to say is if we had like, even at the Glow and Go, if we had like a T-shirt launcher.
Yes!
Just throwing out shirts to the crowd.
Why not? You're
You
already
need to
beating
stand-
people in the
I'm already throwing,
That's right.
I'm already throwing candy at
You
them.
need to stand back a little farther. You're like 12 feet away. Oh, you want a shirt?
Here's a shirt.
Right. Just give people bruises. Just taking them
But
out.
think of the news articles that would be written about our shirt.
Right?
Wonderful.
Man
exposure.
injured,
Yeah.
and then
There's no such thing as
hospital.
bad
No
publicity.
such thing.
well, that's not true.
Man, that church service must be lit.
T-shirt cannons. The staff is people there have lost their minds. Oh my soul.
For Glow and Go, we do. I mean,
Yeah, it's fun.
that's a big production.
It is. It's our most attended community event, right? Second would be, movie night, although in recent years it hasn't been as, because it's been raining.
COVID and rain.
Yeah, it's been raining.
So, yeah.
Before that, I mean, we got pictures. I mean, it's like the whole side of the hills covered with people.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the year. Maybe this year we have
No rain?
Maybe no rain.
Yeah.
Let's pray for no rain.
Let's pray.
Wait, that doesn't
No,
sound.
not
Yeah.
for the garden.
All
We
right.
need that
We
rain.
need the
I
rain.
know.
We have conflicting.
Yeah.
Our church is already fractured.
That's why the watering is going to be so important in the really hot days.
Oh,
and
true,
stuff.
yeah.
I think that's going to be there will be a committed handful. That
Yeah.
we'll just, everyone will pick a day. And
Sure.
then every day so every day of the week we'll have somebody out there.
It's
singing our
gotta
stuff.
be.
Yeah, Kathy and I talked about it. We were like, we'll go out there. That could be one of our
Yeah.
things that we just do.
Right.
Her and I. That's something that's really nice to do with your spouse. You know, going back to the relationship thing
Yeah.
series. Do something with your spouse,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, have a few
Just
adventures.
do that.
That's a little bit of
I mean,
a
it's just go and water the garden.
Since there's potentially snakes there, it could be your adventure.
I mean, if you want to, just dress up, put like a big yellow hat on.
They do have beehives, so.
You got beehives there.
I've got a bee suit.
Farmer Brown. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, I like what you guys are all talking about. This is where our conversations always should be. Coming up with ideas. And then, you trim the fat of those ideas.
Right, sure. Well, brainstorming, that's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Come up
absolutely.
with ideas and then see which ones are feasible, practical, doable.
I mean, great ideas come from this kind of conversation. So. Well, what else about Sunday? All right, you guys alluded to it. You have one verse.
One verse.
Back
verse
in Mark
message.
after 2 months.
Yep.
His last.
So there were a lot of verses, but it all sprung from one.
Yeah.
I did. That verse is, truly I tell you, that Jesus said to them, truly I tell you, there are some standing here today who will not taste death until they see the kingdom of God come in power.
Yeah. I didn't even fully get into all of the possible problems that sometimes arise with that, but alluded to them enough, I think.
Sure.
they're really not that tough of an issue. I don't think.
The answers are way better than the problem. So
Oh, yeah.
the problem being that,
Absolutely.
if people look at that verse and go, well, Jesus didn't come back,
Right.
for the final takeover of the Israel or whatever during that generation, and they're all dead now. So and
Right.
and none of them are mostly dead. They're all dead. So
Mostly.
so some people will see that and go, oh, well, the Bible isn't true because that didn't happen. But there's so many other answers. The next answer, the first answer is right after that passage, which we'll get to next month with the Transfiguration.
Kind of gets
Actually, next week.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's
right.
I mentioned that.
Yeah.
We're heading to Easter, and we've spent so much time out because I skipped a whole month, as we said. That we're gonna be a few weeks in Mark. So that speeds along things so that indeed Harper will not be graduating
Oh,
by the time we get to the end of Mark.
You're graduating kindergarten.
Maybe kindergarten, but we'll see. But yeah, so what was it?
The Transfiguration.
Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
that is next Sunday. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I do think, and again, it's kind of open to what he was talking about when he said that some of you here won't die until you see that. It's what he says and how he describes it that's important, because there's another place he says it very specifically about a couple of other things, and it's not the same instance. I think they're two kind of different trouble spots to talk about. But at least in Mark and Matthew and Luke, it solves a little problem, because if you say some of you will not die until, does that mean some of you will die before?
Could be.
And I think, yeah, it could be. And I kind of have landed, after just really wrestling through and studying whatever, that it doesn't necessarily mean that. And that's where, the idea of a glance to James to suggest that you are going to die, but you're at least going to, you're going to experience it in this first. I mean, who he's talking to, whether he's talking to all, everybody hereafter about that particular, a giant crowd, just the disciples, just the three, it makes a big difference. So it causes a problem for some, and it is kind of fun to kind of go, what's going on here? But it's not like a faith shaker. I will say, though, I discovered this actually recently. A famous atheist who's no longer with us, Bertrand Russell, actually in his book about why was not a Christian, these issues, the ones we're talking about, not necessarily the one in Mark, but the idea that seemed to be implied that Jesus would return within a generation, which is, again, not what I believe was being said there. But it was like his number one reason why he wasn't a follower of Jesus. And I just think, that's pretty pathetic. You're the intellectual dude, and that's what got you. You could have given a little bit more thought. It just seemed like an excuse to me.
I don't know. I can kind of get that. For the people who are too smart for their own good, they overthink the things like that, and they just obsess on it, and then they don't want to see any other answers but whatever they've landed on.
Right.
And that's where
you don't get to truth that way. This is the sad thing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's you gotta wander a little bit to find it. So.
Well, it makes you wonder when he says some of you won't taste death.
yeah.
There's no, that's not a definitive, some of you are going to just stay dead. Some of you aren't going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. A taste of it. And then, maybe it's implied, but there's the kingdom of heaven for the disciples and stuff. So then it's like thinking about that. Well, some of the disciples, maybe on their deathbed, they just get to go right to the kingdom of heaven. There is no taste of death for them. They literally don't get to experience that at all. They just get to,
Yeah, I think he's talking, because like we said, all of those disciples, died as martyrs. But there were things, if he says, hey, no, you're going to see the coming of God's, you see the coming of the kingdom in power and glory. You first have to stay what does that mean?
Right.
And if you mean like it's the resurrection, or do you mean it's the church actually getting started, or does it mean you're going to see me display my glory to some of you?
Mm-hmm.
Which is where I kind of land, because it's where we're going next.
Yeah.
But I just think it's an easily, solvable deal, and even as a manner of speaking, I said, hey, some of you guys aren't even going to die until you're going to see some amazing things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you lock in and go, wait, so some of us are going to die? No, that's not necessarily what that means.
Kind of surprised that didn't go that way.
Well,
Good.
yeah, I mean, so anyway, there's just a lot of possible solutions to that problem. So it's not really a big one. I didn't want to shake anybody's faith on it. But yeah, there have been a few Bible scholars and textual
What he's trying to say is textual.
Thank you. Critics out there who try to cast doubt the Bible and the authority Bible. And I'm convinced that if you are absolutely sad about not believing and then you're looking to disprove, you'll find something that makes you feel like, there you go. I don't have
Sure. Yeah.
it can have the overwhelming evidence for something being so. But if you don't want any of this and you don't want to believe any of that, you'll find that one thing to keep you from believing all that.
Right. Oh, yeah. I know.
So anyway, that's sort of my take on that. But honestly, surprisingly, the way the message went for the second half of that bit is not what I was originally planning. But as I kept preparing on that, I just thought, this is a very interesting thing, this expression, taste of death.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like go into the Greek or any of that. Probably should have spent a little extra time there, but I just thought it's translated the same way in all three of those Gospels. And it's an interesting way of saying that. Now, it's not the only time that expression is ever used. Sometimes used in the Old Testament as well. Mm-hmm. He did not taste death, and they mean that they died. And I didn't want to pour too much into it, but there's a lot of hope in the phrase. And then following Jesus just talking about dying, and he was going to die, and take up your cross, and all that, and it's immediately the next thing he says. It just, to me, it just kind of softens it a little bit. It was like, yes, everything I just said is true. We're talking about the taste of death, because Jesus was all about life, right?
Yeah.
Came to give life and have it in the most abundant way. So.
I like the way you talked about like tasting the food or something.
Yeah, taste the food.
Because you taste something and then it's gone, and then I leaned up and I said, unless it's Jake's hot
peppers. I missed that.
Yeah. Because if you taste that, it stays with you.
Sticks with you.
It is an apocalyptic scorpion.
It is apocalyptic.
Stays with you.
Yeah, there are some things you taste that will linger.
Yeah.
Be careful what you taste. But yeah. Anyway. Anything else, guys? That pretty much it was.
So one of the things that you'd mentioned was that story, that line is in all three of the Synoptic Gospels, and it's not those. It's how each of them is bookended is exactly the same pattern too.
Yes.
Which is really important because it's a very central point to the entire Gospels is that Jesus is somehow, some way coming back, and the kingdom of God is going to be there in power and glory, and that's huge.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what does follow next in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, I think just gives perspective and puts it in the right setting and all of that stuff. John, like I said, cold water animals, but awesome. but yeah. It's going to be fun to talk about. Like I said, don't have to wait too long. It's next week.
Right on.
So, I can't tell too much about that.
Yeah. Good. Don't spoil it. Tune in next time. Or just come to church and
come to church.
Get the scoop a day before we talk about it.
There you go. Well, all right, guys. But it was fun, and I enjoy Big Sunday always, and that was a great experience. It was good to see a couple of people hadn't seen in a while. I was also glad to see in particular, you know that person?
Marcella?
Like again. No, not Marcella. Although yes, it was good to see Marcella. Sandrine.
Sandrine.
Yes, there it was. Because she was in the back, and there was just a few when she caught my eye, and a few she was all like, "Hi, everyone, I'm here." I love that. Oh, well, all right, guys. I think we've wound down to a grinding halt,
Except for one thing.
except for one wonderful thing. And what is that, Bob?
That would be John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, taste of death, but have instead everlasting life. So, and I totally agree with Morey. Read it again, pray about it, and then do something about it and share it.
Yeah,
There you go.
awesome. I like that that version you were quoting.
It's a mishmash of everyone out there.
The Bob translation.
Yes.
It's-
The revised Bob version.
So you're talking about textual critics. The problem with it being kind of scholarly is that you jump from translation to translation, sometimes for really good reasons.
Yeah.
I started out on the NIV, and then they did the NIV gender neutral. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, except for what they did with some of the things.
Yeah, a couple of
totally
places.
mishmash destroy the meaning of something. So I went to ESV, and I've been doing a lot of the CSB, and so it's now the alphabet version is my John 3:16. Yes.
Right on.
Yeah, that's great. I love them all, man. Except for there is one out there that's kind of weird. What was we talking about before? The Passion version? It's not a translation. Don't use that one. Yeah.
Translation.
Most of it is still God's word, and there are little things here and there, that are sometimes translated better than others. But if you're in the Bible, look at another translation as well. Just kind of get the...
Oh, yeah. And that's the beauty of it. We've got so many things. There are certain groups out there that think that only one is the right one, and then they are wrong. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But
That would be... Okay.
Yeah.
You're running out of time, Johnny.
What?
It's
Time?
flashing card low.
Card low. We're all a card low tonight. All right, so...
Card low? We got like 60 seconds. I'm just
60 seconds for real?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. Hey, we meet every week somewhere in the world, but always on Facebook, and you can find us at Compass Church Colorado on Facebook, and you can discover more at compassdenver.com. We'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday, and now we're going to hit some final words.
Love you guys. Love everyone out there.
likewise.
This has been great.
Grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out. Now we're talking fast. We're going to talk like this, okay? See, we're going to talk really fast. We're going to keep going. Let's get one. We'll follow you.